researcher at the Institute for Medical Research and Occupational Health. In parallel, I also teach biochemistry and drug metabolism at Faculty of Medicine, University of Rijeka. And here at Institute, I lead a research group focused on nanosafety, nanotoxicology and nanomedicine. In the NABIHEAL project, I lead work package 5, which is devoted to preclinical safety assessment of novel materials that will be designed for wound healing process.
So you are in charge of testing the NABIHEAL materials for safety, like you said, in actual in vitro and in vivo settings. Can you briefly outline how this will be done?
The materials produced by different partners in the NABIHEAL project will be first evaluated by other partners for their antibacterial activity and efficacy. While following this data, we will then select the most promising materials that will be first evaluated by their biocompatibility. It means immunogenicity and hemocompatibility. And after getting these first results, then the more narrow selection will be made for those materials that will be tested for safety or toxicity effects under in vivo settings. And we will try to follow strictly ISO guidelines to design experimental part of this testing.
What are common problems that can occur when testing such novel materials? Like, is it often a problem that there's guidelines missing or you need to adapt them? And how can you tackle those issues?
ISO, when you try to test medical devices, usually one should follow ISO standards. But the common problem nowadays for those materials that are nano-enabled or have nanomaterial as components are that there are missing guidelines how to perform such testing, because nanomaterials often interfere with different assay components, and we should be very careful how to prepare samples for testing, which assays we should select to avoid such interferences. So it's very challenging.
So when we speak about in vivo testing now also, do you think it will be feasible in the near future to fully replace in vivo testing for products such as the ones developed within NABIHEAL?
Well, to fully replace, unfortunately not, because especially for drug testing, because it's required before first in human clinical trial. For medical devices, it's also new regulation on medical device. This MDR, medical device regulation, is also very strict, and I'm afraid that it will not be possible.
So when we speak about the alternatives that we do have to at least reduce the numbers of animals that are used in testing, where do you see the strengths of those new approach methods or in vitro testing?
Such methods can help to replace some number of animals during in vivo testing and to refine such testing. So they can certainly facilitate in vivo testing, although not fully replace in vivo testing, but they can facilitate, they can help to better design in vivo testing, so to reduce the number of animals.
So apart from your tasks in NABIHEAL, what kind of materials do you usually test?
In general, we designed our laboratories and following our expertise, and we are experts for nanomaterial testing. So we are able to perform safety and efficacy testing for nanomaterials and for advanced materials. So for those products that are nano-enabled or that are designed to be like advanced. Why? Because there are missing expertise in the European Union for contract research organizations. Many of these contract research organizations that have certified laboratories are still like lacking expertise for nanomaterials. So we are doing now more than 20 years such testing, and we adapted many methods to be fit for purpose for nanomaterials.
Okay. Is there any material or test that you would call your favorite or that you think about more often than others?
Some materials are really challenging, especially those that you cannot track easily. For example, when we evaluate absorption or distribution, if such materials is not like labeled or it's hard to be followed by regular methods like confocal microscopy, flow cytometry, electron microscopy, then these are challenging materials. So if I would like to select certain materials, then I would like to have materials that is easily to follow. So for example, metal-based materials, labeled materials, while for example nanoplastics, which is now a hot topic, safety of nanoplastics is really challenging material.
Okay, thank you. What do you think, what will be the impacts of the materials developed in NABIHEAL for the broader community, for clinicians, patients, or also for you and your expertise for testing?
Well, we are very happy to be part of NABIHEAL project because this is additional reference to our laboratory where we can show that we are able also to test such materials. And if NABIHEAL in general fulfill its main aim or ambition, it will be really benefit for patients because the main aim is to provide more affordable material which can solve the problem of healing of deep wounds, so to reduce pain in patients when you replace wound dressing. So we hope that at the end NABIHEAL will provide such wound dressings materials.
Okay, thank you very much, Ivana, and of course we wish you all the best with your experiments in the next months.
Yeah, thank you.